Good evening, everyone. Do you like that new opening, Ray? That's the one for
Yes.
2025 that I came out with. I was
Wow.
playing around a little
Yes.
bit the other day on my Odeo account. So, welcome to the broadcast. This is episode 29 of the NewOaks AI Podcast. I want to welcome you again to the second show here in 2025. Excited to be here. Got a lot of new stuff going on. New president, a new run at TikTok. I mean, Ray, you probably know more of any of us from what you've
Yeah.
experienced. What did you think of this whole mess that took place the last couple of days? I'll be honest, my wife saw the alert that she was not going to be able to get into her TikTok account. I did not get
Wow.
the alert. I didn't get the notice
Wow.
until after they actually opened the channels back up that said, we're
Wow.
back kind of thing, but my account was open the whole time. So I'm not sure.
Wow.
Maybe I got some swing over there. I don't know what's going on, Ray. You didn't
Yeah.
lose your account, right?
No, well, for a day, I think, yeah. So I also got a notice that it's gonna be closed and put off the shelf. But just after Trump took in the power, and then TikTok is back on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I think President Trump gave TikTok another 75 days
Yep.
just to find some ways to either to be sold to an American company or get a major. I think the request is a major stakeholder has to be American companies. So I don't think Trump's executive order can fight against the law that has been passed. So I think there got to be some solution, right?
Yeah,
In
they're
front
gonna have to come
of
up with
her.
something, Ray. It just doesn't
Yeah.
seem to make any sense to me, honestly. When we look at it as Americans who are
Yeah.
one content creators for the
Yeah.
sake of, income wise, when you even look at that alone, what they've done to the American small business person,
Yeah.
let's say, let's just put it in context. Some of these
Yeah.
content creators are making 750 per, thousand views, let's say. And yet,
Yep.
you were to try and get that on Instagram, it'd be more like 75 cents. So
Right.
it's a toss up of it's literally a lack of income of a tenth, if not more, of what they could make on any other platform. So the impact it has on the creators who are relying on that income as American citizens is insane. I mean, it's millions of people. It's not just a couple 100,000 people. There's a
Oh,
million or so
I know.
creators over here in the U.S. So
Yeah.
I just don't think they knew what they were doing. I honestly think there's a lot more to the story. It's more of a back end
Yeah.
truth over
I,
consequences type thing. Let's just say.
yeah.
So what else can you
What
say,
I
Ray?
s- yeah, what I see is that they put censorship and national security over the benefits of the regular American people. That's what I saw. I
I agree.
mean, all the government does the same thing. So they care about their own benefit, but they don't care about the jobs of millions of tens of millions of digital creators or small medium business owners. So that's what I saw.
And I also saw the fact that the gentleman, the CEO of the ByteDance branch who runs that portion of TikTok is actually someone who
Yeah.
used to work for Mark Zuckerberg. So when you really
Yeah.
consider the fact that TikTok has taken away a lot of ad revenue and a lot of interest from some of the things that Facebook does. And when I see that type of monopolization of social media and I see people, thinking they have an advantage over another and yet they play these funny games to try and keep people out of the space, it just to me
Yeah.
doesn't make good sense. It doesn't make good business sense. I think competition is a good thing for everybody. It drives production, it
Yeah.
drives more innovation, and it makes
Yeah.
people do better things to beat out the guy that's running the race against them. So never a
Right.
bad thing about competition. But let's get back to it.
I
Go ahead, Ray. Speak your piece.
Yeah, so just I kind of agree with you. I think there's a conspiracy theory that Mark Zuckerberg is behind the scene, to organize and orchestrate everything. I believe it's true
Yeah.
because, and to be honest, I really hate that kind of competition way, right? The way of competition that if you cannot compete with your competitors in terms of product, then you push them out of the game by the power of politics. That's not the right thing. I look at Facebook. I use Facebook Messenger every day. I think it sucks. It's the worst product I ever seen in my life.
You got a point. You do have a point. We don't like to use. I'm a Telegram guy myself. I hate to
Yeah,
admit it, but that's where I would prefer.
right.
And there are a lot of other replacements for that. But there is
Yeah,
a lot to be said about, I see, and just to cover that for the last couple seconds, we see Mark trying to get back into the public view right now for the
yeah,
sake of, again, I think politics and other, agendas, but we'll let them do their thing. I can't argue that there's a lot going on in the world right now that has to revert. There's a lot of change taking place, and there's going to be a lot of upset people still in the world today. We can't deny that, but we're just going to have to plow through and see what happens next. So, speaking of plowing through and doing what's next, do you think this is going to have any impact on U.S.-China relations going forward, Ray, with the whole idea with TikTok and all?
uh,
I don't see a big
I
problem
think
there, dude.
yeah, I don't think that's it's gonna be. I mean, TikTok is from what I heard, TikTok is a stake between the China-U.S. relations between President Trump and
Yeah,
President Xi. So, but I think Trump is a very practical person and a very rational person. So I think he will put America's benefit to the upfront and make peace of with all the different countries.
yeah,
That's
and I hope
what
that's the
I
case.
so,
I
yeah,
hope that's the
yeah,
case. We all fight for that, Ray, I think, as business owners, especially because in order for us to do business globally, we have to be able to get along with people of different nationalities, different races, different origins, different languages. There's all kinds of
yes,
barriers that we have to work against. Why do we
right,
need any more? And then when you throw in
exactly,
military aspects of it, it's not the business owner, it's not the people running the cities, it's the people much higher than that that are making
yeah,
it difficult for the rest of us. So I hate to see those types of conflicts take place, and I hate more for
mhm,
it to cause barriers between countries like our own, the U.S. and China, when really
mhm.
it doesn't need to exist. Yeah, there's always a threat of either side. Who's going to take over the world? That's what everybody wants to be afraid of. But
Yeah,
let's make that fear AI again, right? Now we don't have to worry about
yeah,
each other. We'll just
exactly.
worry about AI.
What
We'll
when it
play for
speaks
that.
to AI, I think as we talked about last time, so AI actually remove the barrier of
Yeah.
culture, the barrier of language, right? The barrier of communication. So I think AI is gonna forge, I mean, is pushing the whole world to reorganize itself. I mean, maybe in the 20 years time horizon, I don't think the concept of country will exist, right? I don't think we need a country. I think we need business. So everybody is doing business. We trade, right? We trade with each other, and we thrive and upon the trade and also the business activities across the all
Yes.
different borders. So that's
Yes.
what I see.
I think the more we learn from each other and work together, we also find new and better ways to solve problems that we all have. And that's one of the
Yeah,
things, new minds, new perspectives, new ways of looking at things always are a
exactly.
good thing. So,
So, and I also want to bring up another fun in the phenomena that happened during the ban of TikTok. So there are a lot of
yeah,
TikTok refugees rushed into another app, which is called Red Note. I
Red
mean, it's
Note.
totally, yeah. You
Okay, that's a
haven't,
new one.
probably haven't,
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
about
You
this.
probably haven't heard about that one, but
No,
it's the counterpart of Instagram. I
really?
mean, in China, and the number of download rushed into the top of iOS App Store right
Gotcha.
after they banned the TikTok.
Is this
And
the one you're
and
referring to? Is this the symbology?
right, yes,
That's
the
the
right
one right
note,
there? All right, cool.
exactly.
We'll have to
And
go
there are a lot
check it
of
out.
yeah, there are a lot of uh, American people just download the Red Note and rush into the cover. I mean, the first screen of the Red Note say they named themselves TikTok refugees, and they publish
Ah,
all the stuff. And there are a lot of like Red Note's member was amazed by where
I'm sure.
the Americans
TikTok
come from.
refugee, huh? I'll tell the
Yeah,
wife
TikTok refugees.
we'll go create some TikTok refugee accounts over there just to be
Yeah,
certain. In case it does get shut down in 75 days. I mean, we got a place to go
yeah,
hang out anyway,
that's
right?
fun.
Same kind of
Yeah.
video structure and everything then as far as the short format and everything that they do out there? Or is that what it's geared to do?
Very similar to Instagram. Yep. And then they do have video and they do have live stream, podcast, everything. They're a competitor of TikTok. So they got
Nice.
ranked the top of American iOS App Store without spending a dollar, I think. And they're the
Cool.
benefit. Yeah,
Really? That would make
yeah,
quite a
they're the
difference.
beneficiary. Yeah.
Well, it's like I haven't been on Threads at all. I haven't been on Blue Sky at all. It's just like I have no need to go to either one of those pages just yet.
Yeah.
I don't feel a desire to go there. I'm just kind of sticking with what I've got. But speaking of websites and things that are going on, Ray, big revamp over at New Oaks. What's happening there? I'm looking at the website already, and what I see is a whole new look. What's the team's been busy, it looks like. So tell me about the revamp.
Yes.
What's happening?
So yeah, the revamp is all about the vision of NewOaks for 2025. As we mentioned before, so we will put voice first, and our mission is to create voice first AI employees to automate marketing agencies. So first one, we will put the voice as a the most important focus in terms of product development, because
Sure.
voice will bring us a lot more opportunities. And secondly, we want to target our audience group, focus on to marketing agencies, because I think marketing agency is the one who need the help from AI or from us the most. I want to build AI employees for different marketing agencies, but with the voice technology as the leading feature, so that the marketing agencies will not need to work with the no code, a drag and drop, canvas style workflow anymore. Just
I
use
got you.
prompt to create
Yeah.
everything from start to the end, close the deal. So that's the whole vision. That's why we revamped the website just for our target audience, for them to easily understand our vision of what all the value that we can bring to them.
Love it. No, it's a nice look. It's something new for 2025, and it gives people a better idea that voice is really the next step. It's not really just the first step either. It's something that's been taking place for months now. We're not the first. We have seen others come and go, honestly. If you remember, a couple of firms, well, one firm in particular came out with voice that was reluctant to say. They went out and
Mhm.
started making phone calls with it all over the place, or at least some of the people that used it did, and basically they got shut down. So I want to warn ahead of time anyone that is considering voice AI outreach is to make sure that you're getting the opt-in from everyone that you intend to allow the AI to make the phone call to, because it's very important here in the US in particular, and anyone in any GDPR community, I'm sure, is going to be the same in the EU at some point. You just really have to watch how you let this thing make its phone calls, right?
Yep.
All right, Ray, rapid deployment. I love this. So we can get these AI employees up and going in under 60 seconds now, basically. Just fire with a template and get it running. I was kind of perusing through some of them as we were in here, and I was glad to see that you have templates now for several of them are available. Let's just flip over to the page now. If I were to create a bot on those, can you tell me about some of the most recent templates that have come to the agent template side, Ray?
Yeah, so the idea of building different templates that will allow our customers to share their workflow or their chat AI agent as a template for any newcomers. For example, there are a lot of existing customers of NewOaks AI are sharing e-commerce or AI recruiting agent. For example, this one specifically
Yeah, got it.
you're putting out is it's a Japanese recruiting firm. So they hire their employees for cleaning service outside of Japan, not only in Japan, but outside of Japan, in Southeast Asia.
Sure.
So it collect all the different criterias. I mean, collect different information from the applicants and
Yep.
pre-screen them. So after you fill in all the information, your degree and your language preference, and also your preferred salary, whatever, and all the different conditions, and then you save the data into a Google Sheets automatically. So
Okay.
that way, the users of the same use case will not need to create their own AI
Yeah.
agent anymore. Just copy and paste
So they
and
can just
start
go
using.
grab the template and bring it into their own system, and that way they've got something pre-built that they can then modify to their own use and not have to spend the extra what, 45 seconds to finish their own?
Yeah,
Well, there's a
exactly.
lot more
That's
to it. What we find, Ray, obviously, is some of the cases where we do have particular use cases where we want specific prompts put in to represent certain personas, certain abilities, and restrict the bot's abilities
yeah,
as well so that it can and can't do certain things. So, yeah, there's a little more to it. The 60-second look is great. I love the fact that we can now automate with a simple script, let's say. We're just
yeah,
giving it a textual script. And we're saying, make this, and it makes it. And now we can share what we just made with someone else and say, here, look what I made. Why don't you use it?
yeah.
And it saves everybody a lot of time. So great job. I love it. One of the other features to that, though, too, is it sounds like you've got some really cool demo videos coming out for the AI web voice and AI phone calls set up for people for the outbound calls. Where can those be found, Ray? Are they just on the YouTube channel alongside some of the podcast
Yes.
videos so that they can head over there
Yeah.
to the YouTube channel? And if anybody hasn't been really finding us on YouTube to go see what's available, be sure to head over. You will be able to see us broadcasting live at the top of the page. And when you come out, you will normally see us somewhere in that area. The NewOaks account is out here. I'm going to just simply switch to it so you can take a look at what the NewOaks account looks like and be able to find it readily at first view. So if we head over to the NewOaks page, we're going to see NewOaks AI conversational appointment booking chatbot, where the podcast feed is located here. We're live now, so you'll always find us in the live section. And then all of our previous shows will be represented within the podcast, along with any of the webinars Ray's featured with, and all of his team that have been putting together the training videos for the inside of the system. So be sure when you have time to go check out some of the shorts as well, because some of those are really good. All right. Ray, anything else coming up in 2025? I'm kind of excited. Do you have anything that we haven't talked about? I know the paywall UI within the chat bubbles is something that there were a couple of people that asked for that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So recently there was a couple of customers, especially the marketing agency customers, request that feature. So the use case is for a dentistry. So for the dentistry, after they run some marketing campaign on Facebook or Google, and the traffic will come to the first page, they call the survey page, where they use NewOaks AI as a survey bot just to ask questions, pre-screen the customers according to their credit score, their income.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and then after screening, they will direct the hot leads or the qualified um, prospective patients to the second page, which they call thank you page. But they want to ask the prospective patient to pay before they make the actual consultation appointments because they want to make sure they are
Gotcha.
serious, right?
Yep.
Obviously, the pay is refundable. So we build a thank you page AI agent, allow the user to pay right within the chat bubble. So
Nice.
when the patient say, "Hey, I want to book a consultation," and then there is the payment link pops up,
Mhm.
it's like a calendar lead within the chat bubble so that the customer can enter their credit card and their name and their emails just to pay through, right?
Oh, I
Versus
gotcha.
previously, yeah, you have to click a link and then the link will direct the user outside of your website. And then there's a, you know, there's a chance that the customer will not continue the payment. I mean, the churn rate will be
Sure.
higher. So with the paywall interface within the bubble, I think we're going to improve the conversion rate of the payment and validate the customers is a real high
Makes
quality
sense.
customer for the consultation or appointments.
Yeah, and we're always trying to vet any leads that come, especially when it's just a random visitor to a website. You want to try and find some way to determine, did that person just show up inadvertently by clicking on a link from someone else somewhere else, or were they really
Yeah,
interested in what they came to see? A lot of times we find people, show up all the time just because they see a link somewhere in the feeds and they just click on it to see what it is, and then they're gone. They don't hang around very long, and they really weren't interested in your product. So it does sound like a great way to give them the ability to put that first step, that first touch point contact
yeah,
in there so that they get a better feel for who's actually stopping by. All right, what about the API release here? I see some. I always love it when I see the letters API together in a sentence because it
Yeah.
gives us access to do stuff on the back end. So, any new feature updates to that, Ray? Tell us about it.
Sure. So recently we are releasing a lot of API webhook endpoints to allow the users, the business users or agency users to create to upload the data and create a chatbot by API instead of logging to the dashboard to create it manually. So we're releasing that today actually.
Nice,
Your time tonight. So that
nice.
everything you manually do on the backend on the dashboard of NewOaks AI can be done through API. So that's the whole idea. So we are enable API to all different business users and the agencies. So
I'm
that will
excited.
be yeah
I'm
yeah.
excited.
So that will be
That's when it gets fun, Ray. When we can actually
yeah
access the system with other systems is what we get to do
yes
now is be able to utilize and incorporate and integrate the New Oaks backend with some of the backend feature sets that we have either built ourselves. We can start getting in now to other no code features where we can utilize some of the really neat stuff you and your team have put together, come up with some new ideas of our own, ways we can use it that maybe you guys haven't thought of. And that makes for good growth. I love it.
yeah.
The reselling
So
features for the AI calls. We're looking at agency owners now, obviously. Let's talk about the
yeah.
reselling feature that you have, and then we'll recap and pretty much wrap it up for today.
Yeah. So the reselling, we also in the past week we were working on the UI of the reselling. So the idea is to allow the valuable business owners to utilize our AI phone call feature and put a markup on top of what we offer and make
Gotcha.
a profit out of that. So that's specifically for agency owners. Hope it will be released, today or tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
By the definitely by the week.
All
So
right. I'm excited. Can you, before we do that, can you add in a feature for me?
yeah,
I've asked for it, Ray. It was all about the monthly annual switch for the agency owners so that we
okay.
can show the price plans in both formats, monthly and annually within the
Oh
white label
yes,
build if we want to
yes.
do it that way, because
Yep,
that's something. And I know you mentioned also that we're going to be able to get to the demo feature, which is the
yep,
30-second demo basically, where you drop a
yep.
website link into the box and it instantly builds you a chat agent that you can demo for any particular client you'd like to, simply by getting access to their webpage. So excited
Yes.
to see that as well. That's going to be really cool. All right, Ray, is there anything else you want to bring up? It is, the second show here. I'm looking forward to a bunch more of these. If you haven't noticed, we have changed the time. Obviously, we don't have a lot of live viewers tonight, and I'm sure Hilton will be around when he gets the opportunity. He loves to stop
Right.
by the show. We'd love to have him on at some point. I actually have, Ray. If I do things well enough, we can get a stage together here for him and actually like stick him right in the middle and bring him right on the screen with us if we want.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
anybody
that's
that
a good idea.
wants anybody that wants to come on and talk about AI or how you're using New Oaks AI in your life or business, we'd love to have you on the broadcast. It would be 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to be on the show, get a hold of us. Maybe we can get you in here in advance, 15 minutes ahead of the show, and have you on as a guest during one of the podcasts. So, Ray, what's next? Tell me what else you're thinking about doing over at New Oaks for the next quarter. It is Q1. We got a couple months to go. We're into the winter
Yeah.
months now here in the U.S. So, what do you see coming forward in AI and AI agents?
Yeah. So Q1, I think the most critical thing is, I mean, I see there are a lot of companies that start building AI agents. So I think voice, we will put voice first, keep our technology advancement in terms of voice feature and also the agent or AI, I would like to call it AI employees, right? To allow, remember we talk about we are releasing everything with in the form of API. So
Yep.
that will pave the way for us to build AI employees because and then we will allow the AI to call to take to call to make function call and take and execute any actions with any other third-party tools, so that the AI will be much powerful by the end of Q1. That's the that's the goal for us in Q1. And also another thing I want to bring up is that since we already decided to focus on marketing agency target audience, then we're gonna go deep in to integrate with CRMs like Go High Level to make marketing agency life easier. So we already actually can use prompt to create any actions or function calls to execute the APIs in Go High Level. So by the end of Q1, I think will integrate with almost every single API within Go High Level so that the marketing agency can use plain English or prompt just to create any features within NewOaks, but with integration and to utilize the features and the functionalities of Go High Level. So voice first and deep integration with Go High Level for marketing agency audience. That's the goal of Q1 for NewOaks. Yeah.
And that's one thing I can say is the reach that GHL has accomplished over the few years that it's been in existence has been substantial. It's not a small reach. They have a lot of agencies using their software. A lot of people have struggled even over there with some of the feature sets that have come out because they sometimes develop features a little too early. They get stuff out on the market that doesn't function like a lot of people hope it will. And honestly, a lot of people were a little disappointed when their AI chatbot was first introduced. So those people that do own GHL might find a lot of interest to go get a hold of the folks at NewOaks AI and see what they've developed as an integration for GHL, because I fully believe that Ray's probably outdone some of the best of those that have been incorporated in the past. It's not the first chat widget to be added to GHL, but it is definitely the best that we've seen so far, Ray. So no arguments there. And we just really enjoy the fact that you're continuously improving on what you've built day in and day out, and that your team is relentless when it comes to making sure that everything functions properly. So if you ever do have an issue with your NewOaks account, don't sit there struggling and complaining that it's broken. Simply reach out to support at NewOaks AI. Ray and his team are always there to answer questions. But what are some of the other ways we can get a hold of you, Ray? We know we've got a NewOaks AI community over at Facebook, Discord. Is there a lot going on at Discord recently?
Yeah, so Discord, yeah, we do have a very active Discord community and Facebook community, and also I think the best way is still to either throw out the questions. I mean, first go to the communities to find whether someone else has similar questions, right? Yeah. So that they can answer your questions right away. Or if they cannot, just send an email to support@newoaks.ai so that we can solve the problem better. And last thing I want to mention is that we also released a gray label app called Appointify for our white label customers, just like Lead Connector for Go High Level. So that is, for example, if you are a white label customer and you will see on your customer domain, there's a in the footer, there's a menu called the app download. Then you scan the QR code. Is a Android app, which is Appointify, which is more a generic name for business owners. So that's why we call it a gray label, not white label.
Gotcha. Because I see another brand. So be careful. There may be some other brands with a similar name. We'll get a link in the chat for sure when things get done here. But it's definitely looking great, Ray. I can't wait to see what the next steps and some of the things that people utilize it for. If you're looking to also bring a case study to Ray, if you're using it in ways you haven't seen us use it here on the show, or any of the people otherwise yourself that are using NewOaks, let us know, because we'd love to feature you here on the show and highlight how you're using the app in your daily life or business. Ray, same as usual, next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Happy to have you here as always on the NewOaks AI Podcast. So see you next week.
Great.
Take care.
See you next week.
All right, everyone. Have a good one. And be sure to subscribe over at NewOaks and see where we can help you in your life and business and build AI and make it the best going forward in 2025. Take care. See you next time.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.